Our next guest is the chairman and CEO of an oilfield service technology company. Since October 2002, Core Laboratories has returned almost $1.2 billion to its shareholders. The company has 70 offices in more than 50 countries. It operates in every major oil-producing region in the world. Joining me now is David Demshur, chairman and CEO of Core Lab. Hey, David.
Hey, Quinn. Thanks for having us back.
Now, $1.2 billion is a huge reward for shareholders. How are you able to generate such cash to put money back in your shareholders' pockets?
Well, as you know, we have three financial tenets by which we run the company. One is to look at generating high returns on invested capital. Number two, maximizing free cash flow. And then number three, getting to your point, returning all excess cash back to our shareholders. And over the past 10 years, we've been able to return over $1.2 billion in the form of dividends, special dividends, and share repurchases. More of this to come in the future for Core.
And once again, your company reported record quarterly earnings and revenues during the fourth quarter 2011.
Correct. That was driven by international oil-related activity. As you know, 70% of our business is outside of the United States. 70% of our business are for the top 100 companies. And now 80% of our business is related to crude oil projects. That's up from 70%. We continue to de-emphasize natural gas projects and emphasize crude oil projects worldwide.
And talk to us about the shale opportunity in South America, specifically in Argentina. Who are the major players there and what potential is locked away in that area?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. If you look at Argentina in the Neuquén Basin, there's a shale there that's called the Vaca Muerta, and you have several U.S. independents. EOG is a player there, Apache's a player there, ExxonMobil's a player there, YPF is a player there. It's early days for this play, but over the next 2 to 3 to 5 years, I think we'll see a substantial amount of activity in South America, specifically Argentina.
And let's talk about North America, David. With E&P operators in the U.S. concentrating on oil reservoirs, what products and services is your production enhancement segment offering companies?
Very good. If we look at the three plays in North America that are important to us, that's the Deepwater Gulf of Mexico, oil shales, and then the oil sands in Canada. Our production enhancement group has a myriad of technologies that helps our clients to produce more gas, oil and gas every day. Moreover, and more importantly, to produce more oil and gas over the life of the play. So it's maximizing recoveries out of the deep waters in the Gulf of Mexico, oil shales, and then the oil sands in Canada.
Now, in light of ongoing energy discussions in Washington, what potential does the Gulf of Mexico offer the U.S. for domestic oil and gas production?
Well, this is a very important area, and if we look at some of the recent discoveries that took place right before the moratorium and now some of the drilling after the moratorium, there's some good opportunities there in the lower tertiary section of Walker Ridge and some of these other areas that are in 7,000 to 8,000 feet of water. And actually over the last 3 years, the United States has increased its oil production even with production falling in the Gulf of Mexico. Now that the moratorium has ended and drilling permits are being offered once again, we think by the fourth quarter of this year, we'll be back to pre-moratorium levels, which is good for Core Laboratories. We generate about 3% of our revenues, worldwide revenues, from the Deepwater Gulf of Mexico, so an important place for us.
And with Core, what can we expect for the rest of 2012 with you folks?
Yes, we are still concentrating on some of the deepwater plays offshore Brazil, offshore West Africa. We're doing a lot of work. We're working on 12 fields in Iraq. We have a number of large projects in the Middle East, and Asia Pacific has also been a very active area for us. So again, as it was in 2011, look for growth for Core Laboratories to come from international and crude oil related projects.
Sounds like a lot of exciting things ahead for you folks. We appreciate your time being here.
Quinn, always a pleasure. Thank you.
David Demshur with Core Lab. I'm Quinn Nguyen with oilandgas360.com.